The narcissist was always keeping score. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I've talked about this for years in videos, how the narcissist was in competition with you and they were keeping score and watching what you were doing, and they were tallying up all the wins for themselves and they were giving you all the losses. Well, eventually what happened is the narcissist realized that they are nothing but a big loser. This video isn't to throw people under the bus, it's to let you know that the narcissist is stuck in that cycle. It just keeps going around and around and around in a loop. And what they do is they pick targets, multiple at any one time, if you will, although you were one. And what they want to do is be in competition with those people. Here are many examples, very simple ones. And I know I created a similar video to this not long ago. But again, I'm getting a lot of emails with competition and why the narcissist feels like they have to win and why they don't want to lose or why they don't lose and all these things. So here are a couple examples. One, you're on the freeway, you're driving, and you put your turn signal on and you're driving, the narcissist is in the passenger seat. Again, you don't know what narcissism is. You put your turn signal on to turn to the right, and then they tell you that you almost cut somebody off. Or they told you that you shouldn't have put the turn signal on when you did. You should have waited longer, or you didn't do it quick enough, or you did it too slow, whatever. They'll be nitpicking at you. Now, in the old days, what you may have said was, wait, that's front seat driving. Remember in the old days, we used to have that expression called backseat driving? Well, you're a backseat driver. Well, there really aren't backseat drivers these days for multiple reasons, but the backseat driver was your narcissist. Using the example I shared with you, they were in the front seat, but you see, they were nitpicking. They were in competition with you. They didn't want you believing in yourself. They wanted you doubting yourself. Another thing with your occupation, however you earned or earn your money. Let's say that you are or were a doctor or somebody, some role or some way, practice that you earn your money that is held in high regard. And everybody needs a job, and I'm no different, and I believe everyone's equal. We should be treated equal. But the narcissist, let's say that you are or were a doctor. Well, they wouldn't ask you for medical advice. They would do anything but. They would ask WebMD, or they'd ask Google, or now they ask AI, or they ask a complete stranger, or that guy sitting at the bus stop. They'd ask anybody but you. Why? Because they knew that you had the answers, but they didn't want you getting too high up on the pedestal. They didn't want you believing in yourself, even though perhaps you saved hundreds, maybe even thousands of lives at your medical practice. The narcissist, when you would go home, they would put you right back in your place because they were in competition with you. So example, they wanted to reap the rewards and the benefits of your MD status or your doctor status, PhD, whatever it is. And they certainly wanted to reap the rewards and the benefits, all the money you earned, but they didn't want to lift a finger to support you. They didn't want to pay your tuition. They didn't care when you were in med school. They didn't care about anything other than you were bringing home the money that they would be using. Those are two examples. Another example with competition and how the narcissist was always keeping scores. Let's talk about your kids or your stepkids. What was the narcissist doing when you were in the relationship with them, with your kids or stepkids? Yes, you know it by now. They were counter-parenting. They weren't co-parenting with you. They were trying to drive wedges between you and your kids or stepkids. Now, you didn't know this was happening back then. How could you? You weren't formally educated on narcissism. And if you married the narcissist, I can assure you one thing, you fell in love with someone who doesn't have the ability to fall in love. They have the ability to fake it, and they could use and abuse and manipulate anybody that doesn't have the wisdom, but they don't have what you have, which is why the narcissist blends in with society. What they want to do is they want to blend in with the fabric of life. They want to act like they are holier than thou. They want to act like they are spiritual, they're religious, they're devout, they are so awoken and they know so much more, and they can keep a family, and they love their wife or their husband, and they're the best parent of the year, and they attend all the PTA or the parent-teacher conferences or everything. Well, that's the appearance. What really happens is the narcissist doesn't want to lift a finger to help out anybody other than themselves. But it doesn't stop there. It goes further, because the narcissist not only doesn't want to help people, but they want to create damage and they want to destroy people's lives. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is immune to the toxicity or the wrath or the venom of the narcissist, which is why once you get the wisdom, you have to go no contact. You have to block that person. You have to take the bull by the horns, and you have to take initiative and go no contact. Once you've identified and you understand who they are, what they did, and that they are unfixable, and that they do know what exactly they're doing to people. When you wrap your head around all those things, and yeah, it will take quite a while to do so, you'll realize that, yeah, the narcissist was in competition with me. And yes, they did use my intelligence as a way to get through life. They did use my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations, my money, my energy, my effort, my ability to be patient and to be committed. They used it all and more against me. When you wrap your head around that, then you realize not only does not one good deed go unpunished with the narcissist, but you need to get as far away from that person as fast as you can, because these people will consume you. When I say consume you, think about the 4 ties that I coined years ago. There are 4 ties that must be cut to remove yourself from the jaws of the narcissist. They are the emotional, the financial, the physical, and the spiritual. Those ties have to be cut by you. The narcissist isn't going to cut any of those ties. If you really want to drill into that for a second, we'll do it. Your money, I can assure you, it went to zero, or you had credit card debt. Your health, it definitely took a hit. Your friendships and relationships, most of them went by the wayside. Your belief in yourself, it was all but gone. Your belief in humanity disappeared. You're questioning yourself, that's what all you were doing. You're ruminating, you're being stuck, you're wondering why you keep on doing the same things over and over again, and how come this person that perhaps you fell in love with, they won't change, they're not giving you the time of day? Well, now you know. You now know that these people are sinking ships, they're ticking time bombs, and they're littered all over the planet. If you think for a minute that there's just one narcissist, the one you're considering, you need to think again. The narcissist is a shapeshifter. They will approach people in different ethnicities, different skin colors, different languages. They'll be tall, they'll be short, they'll be educated, they'll be not educated, they'll be handsome or pretty, they won't be as handsome or pretty. But what they all do is they all do the exact same behaviors and mannerisms and techniques and tactics. They all come from way down below in the underworld, in the low vibrational state. And you may think, wow, that's a little difficult. No, it's not. It's reality. And more people on the planet, specifically in this day and age, are becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered. And they're realizing that, yeah, the narcissist was keeping score with them. I'll give you more examples of keeping score with the narcissist. Think about when you were trying to divorce them. Did the divorce go amicably? Did the narcissist sit down with you and say, you know what, here's what you brought into the relationship, here's what I brought, let's just split it 50-50 and move on and get the divorce and save the legal fees and save the drama and save all the forensic accounting and save all the nonsense and the stays and the third-party apps and all that? They're not going to do that. Now you may question yourself and say, yeah, they don't do that. Why don't they do that? Because not doing it gives them supply. It keeps your life on hold. It allows them to believe they're winning the competition. It keeps you stunted. You can't focus, you can't think, you can't advance without getting untethered from the narcissist. Picture, if you will, an octopus. An octopus has 8 arms, maybe in this day and age, maybe it has 16 or even more. I can't tell you. The world we're living in right now, it's not what it used to be even yesterday, which is why you need to continue to come back and keep your cup full and understand that it's not just you, it's not just me. There are a lot of changes and nuances happening on this planet, and one is you becoming awakened and aware. But going back to the tentacle advantage or tentacle analogy with the narcissist, they have as many tentacles as they need. And if they need 2, they use 2. If they need 2,000, they'll find a way to get 2,000. If they need 20,000, like that old movie, yes, some of you are probably thinking it. Remember 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? That with the huge monster nautilus or the octopus? Yeah, you're getting it. Some of you people have been around a while. Well, the narcissist will use whatever they need to use to get whatever they want. Once they get what they want, they don't want it any longer, but yet they don't want anyone else to possess what they possess, so they will punish that person into oblivion, which is why the narcissist isolates people. It's why they take them for granted. It's why they disrespect them. It's why the narcissist walks 30 feet in front of people. They take their wedding ring off at any chance they can get. They act like they're single when they're not. They counterparent, don't co-parent. They hide assets. They hide money. They drag out the divorce, the custody, the selling of the house, and everything else. They don't care about anybody. What the narcissist is doing is they're in competition with the underworld, with other narcissists, and the clock, Father Time. You may say, yeah, that's all true, but what's with Father Time? Well, think about what the narcissist does. They're always on the go, go, go. The narcissist can't sit still. They're always on their 3 smartphones, blowing up other people's lives, creating drama where they can't find it, smearing people's names who are pristine, trying to divide wedges between people and anything that matters to them. Because the narcissist knows that the competition they're in, is with the dark underworld. They're in a race to tally up as many broken hearts, failed marriages, destroyed lives, broken dreams, aspirations, goals, and more as with other narcissists. Yeah, tough pill to swallow, but it's true. And you may think, well, wait, you're talking about a whole bunch of wisdom here and unpacking new ideas and new mindsets. Yeah, I am. Think about it. Why doesn't the narcissist just keep one fuel source and keep that one person tethered for 10, 20, 30, 50 years? Yes, I understand. Some of them do that. I get it. But remember, that's in the old days before the internet and the smartphone. Do you think for a minute that anybody that gets married in this year is going to be, with a narcissist that is going to be married to them for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years? It's not going to happen. Now, again, I don't wish ill will upon anybody, not the narcissist, not one person on the planet. But we're in the age of information. We are in the age of authenticity. The narcissist doesn't want to do anything but gather information, collect information, and share none. And the narcissist has no authenticity. So my take on all these things, and yes, I've been doing quite a lot of research on an awful lot of different aspects and rabbit holes of humanity, mindset, psychology, abundance, love, empathy, integrity, and of course, authenticity. If you think for a minute, or my take is that if you think that someone who gets married in this year and they marry a narcissist, that marriage, or whatever you want to call it, will be together for 30, 40, 50 years, it's not going to be. There is no way that lasts. Again, you may say, wow, you're being rough. Actually, my sister or brother just married and they married a narcissist, and I want them to live a abundant and fruitful life for the next 50 years. Yeah, I do too. But I'm just telling you what I've researched. I am also sharing with you that the narcissist gets worse and they're on the clock. So those days of 30, 40, 50-year marriages, I think they're out the window. Yeah, if you've married a healthy, stable person, maybe it would last. I don't know. Getting back on track before I close the video, you need to understand this world we're living in, it's changing every single second. What was important yesterday, some of it's changed to different things today, and on and on and on. One thing that remains constant is that the narcissist is everywhere. 2, that you were trapped in a narcissistic abusive cycle, that you're out, that you've healed or you are healing, but that the narcissist was keeping score the whole time. The narcissist remembers things that people did from 10, 20, 30 years ago. The narcissist also, if they can't come up with something that somebody did 10, 20, 30 years ago, they will create it, they will make it up and try to have people believe that it is true. And that is why your average human being who was not in a narcissistic relationship and who isn't toxic and who isn't a real empath, but who is living in the everyday fog, that's why these people, they just go about their lives not even knowing what's going on around them. I can say it because at one point I was living in the everyday fog. I'm not anymore. I'm awakened and aware. I've been to hell and back multiple times, which is why I create videos every day to let you know that, yeah, the narcissist was keeping score. Heck, they could be keeping score right now, not only just with you, but with all the other fuel sources they had. One thing I will share that I'm closing the video is that you need to understand the narcissist doesn't ever, ever want anyone to know who they are. The narcissist has a lot of skeletons in their closet. The narcissist is riddled with anxiety. The narcissist is loyal to nobody. They care about nobody. They're always keeping score. They're always in competition, and the narcissist believes they have to get the best end of any agreement, arrangement, deal, or anything that they're trying to barter with. And bartering is a huge thing the narcissist does. They will barter, barter, and barter, and they will promise the sun, the moon, and the stars, and they will collect whatever they wanted to collect from the person they're bartering with, but what they will give them is not even close to what they promised. That's why these people, i.e. the narcissists, they're parasites. They're looking for attention. They're looking for hosts. They're looking for someone who they can pummel into submission, take anything from them that they want, keep score, throw them under the bus, blame them, wash, rinse, repeat, or rinse, wash, repeat. That's why once you understand what the narcissist is capable of, you need to get as far away from them as you can. So everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved, and I mean loved, doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. I love you all, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Understand a few things. 1, the narcissist was always keeping score. 2, they are still keeping score with everything, from how much milk is in the carton in the refrigerator that's 3 weeks old, to who took out the trash last month, to who bought the turkey last year, to what the how many pounds or kilos the turkey was, to what car they drive, to what car they don't drive, to if they were the favorite student of a teacher, if they weren't. The narcissist is always petty, they're childish, they never grew or developed properly, and they're stunted, and you should know that. The narcissist will never, and I mean never ever, do anything other than to be in competition with people and always be keeping score, because that's their existence. And you want the truth? It's a very weak, feeble, anxiety-riddled, pathetic existence. It didn't have to be that way, but that's what the narcissist wanted, that's what they signed up for, and that's what they got. Be careful, narcissists, because when your clock expires, and it's not going to expire at the hands of a human being, it's going to come from a power above, you better really, really, really hope to God that you know what you're doing. And you don't. I love you all. God bless you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.